So, EFI. Now, this setup isn't a stock EFI system on this truck. This truck has a Edelbrock Super Victor EFI system. As you can see, it does not look like a stock 5.7 Vortec. Now, to convert these trucks to a Edelbrock type of EFI, you're gonna have to do a lot of stuff to it. It's not so super hard, but it's not super easy either. It's not like it could be a weekend thing if you're skilled enough and you have all the parts around, but usually you're gonna have mismatch fittings and stuff like that. You have to do everything and order stuff and overnight everything. So, I mean, it's not a small task, but it's not like you rebuilding the engine. It's easier than that. But the main thing you're gonna have to do is basically completely strip the engine down to the where you just see the heads and the valley. It's all basically you have to take off for right now. Other things inside there, like you'll see your little spider injector on top of in the intake manifold. The intake manifold is a two-piece, so when you get the two-piece intake manifold, you take the top part off, you'll see the little spider in there, take that thing out. Then you take the lower intake manifold, which should be made out of aluminum, take that thing off, and you just like move the harness completely to the back, like everything out the way. You got to cut into the thing later, and it's gonna be a lot. There's gonna really be a whole bunch of stuff you got to do. Now back there should be like a solid steel line. I don't know if you can see it, but there's solid steel line back there that you have to tap into so you can run your called fuel rails off of that. Because the spider injector, usually it goes through this little thing that they have, and it goes on top of the spider, and that feeds the fuel into the thing. But for this type of setup, you're gonna have to have a adapter type of fittings. I'm gonna actually go have them inside the description. You can look what type of ones you need, and they should fit right onto these fuel rails. We use -8 lines on this thing. I mean, it's pretty huge, but just because you have the 1,000 horsepower capability, once we actually go fully forge this whole thing, right now it's rebuilt. We don't know what parts are rebuilt in it, but once we go fully forge, we'll be able to not have any fueling problems with it. Now, when you change that, throw away that spider injector, the spider injector inside of it has its own fuel pressure regulator. So you have to buy a aftermarket fuel pressure regulator. Now, if you're just running a naturally aspirated engine, you just get like a normal EFI fuel pressure regulator. That car is squeaking like crazy. But yeah, you just have to just get a normal aftermarket EFI fuel pressure regulator. There's fuel pressure regulators for carbureted engines. They usually go up to like 15 PSI, and they won't work with EFI systems. So you have to get an EFI specific fuel pressure regulator. Now there's boost reference fuel pressure regulators like what we have on here. Whenever you have more boost into the motor, it'll sense that and it'll push the diaphragm down and let more fuel in. So I guess you don't have any fuel starving problems. But other than that, you're gonna need that. You're gonna need assorted lines and stuff like that, a lot of braided hose and stuff like that. You're gonna need the intake manifold and stuff. You're gonna need an EFI specific manifold. You can't use like your old carbureted manifold for Vortec engines. You have to get an EFI specific manifold. There's the Super Victor EFI. There's the ProFlow XTFI. I've seen those. A lot of people have those. I'd rather go ProFlow just because you get the more usable RPM range with those intakes. This one is like around 3,000 to 8,000, but the ProFlows, they like start at like 1,500 to like 7,000 RPM. So most likely you should go ProFlow. We went Super Victor just because we want more plenum volume, especially for a boosted motor like that. But other than that, I mean, I'll go ProFlow any day. But the next thing you have to do, you got to paint your valve covers. No. But yeah, you're gonna have to do that. Then you got to pick out the size injector. Now, the size injector you need depends on what you're gonna do. Are you gonna be running boosted, or are you gonna run a natural aspirated engines? Now, with that, the specific size you need depends on the modification that you add. Now, if you just have like a small little, slightly better cam and the EFI manifold, maybe like a good throttle body and stuff like that, you don't need to go over like 30 called pounds per hour. I guess, is it pounds per hour? I guess it's pounds per hour. You don't have to go over that. Now, if you're running boost, then it's a completely different story. But with that, there's online calculators where you can calculate, like if you give your rough estimate around how much horsepower your truck or your engine makes, it'll tell you what size of injectors that you need. The stock injectors that come on these things only make like 19 pounds per hour, so it limits the engines to only make around 400 to 380 horsepower on its stock EFI system. That's why a lot of people switched out the EFI systems on this thing to like a Edelbrock EFI. But the fact is, you have to do so much, a lot of people don't even switch out the EFI. They just put a cam in the truck, put a nice exhaust on there, and they're just done. with the thing, because I mean, when you really want to make some serious power with these things, you got to do a lot to them. But you're gonna need that. Then you're gonna have to dip into the harness, because the wiring harness goes all the way from the PCM, and the PCM controls the injector pulse width for the injectors. You're gonna have to need to dip into that and actually create your own harness off of that. And I'm gonna show you all how to do that. I'm gonna have a sheet write up like every single injector, its color, size, and where it goes and stuff like that. What else? You're gonna need fuel rails. You're gonna need a throttle body, because the old one goes with the intake manifold. You won't be able to use that. So we got a throttle body 2-inch spacer, just because, just to clear that water neck if you want it to the front like that. But well, we just use that just so you have some more space under here to you actually put wires and stuff under there. But you're gonna need the elbow, because you're gonna need the elbow unless you're running like that little flat type of throttle body, like the throttle body that lays flat. But you're gonna need a throttle body and a filter and all that type of stuff like that, and the intake call filter and a little pod filter wherever it goes. I don't know, your own cold air intake system, however you set it up. But you're gonna need that. I recommend like the eBay 90 millimeter throttle body like the LS2, LS3s type of throttle bodies. It's because I wouldn't pay like 600 or 500 bucks for like no BBK like CNC. I'm like, it's not a waste of money. I understand what they do. It's like a very, very finely precision machine, like piece of metal. But I'm like, I mean, a throttle body on an old Vortec truck, I'm like, I'm not spending 600 bucks for that. But the fact is, get one off eBay, 149. It's done. You get the elbow for like another, what, I think it's like 150. Then the intake manifold should be around 300. Then you got to pick out injectors. Your fuel rail should be like another 150. FPR should be, I mean, since it's a boost reference FPR, it was like 120, 130. But I mean, you should be able to get an FPR for less than 100, I believe. I don't know, too sure, but hopefully. Now, this thing that we have right here is a fuel ignition controller. Since we're running bigger injectors, we need something to actually change the pulse width of them, or how we can change the pulse width of them. Because it just depends, because like a lot of people go to tuners and get this stuff tuned constantly. We just want to be able to tune it ourselves, but there's a lot of challenges in there, because the PCM itself, since it has like 2 different fuel maps and stuff like that, you have your open loop and closed loop and stuff like that, and it kind of changes and messes with the FIC and makes it go weird. So you have to be able to like finick with it a little bit to make everything work right. It's just, I recommend do like the 411 PCM swap, like a lot of people doing. Like I see Kevin Robinson did that. A lot of people on like the little OBS forums and stuff. I'd rather go recommend like a 411 PCM. There's a whole bunch of forum write-ups on how to do it, so that's be the best thing to do. You don't have to do all this wiring and all this crazy stuff. But I mean, it's pretty much worth it. I mean, what we have right now, we have ported heads, we have the intake, we have the throttle body, we have a LT4 hot cam. We have LS6 valve springs. We need to go get some screwed in studs for that before things explode. But what else? Engine's been rebuilt. I mean, you won't do an EFI system if you're looking for better throttle response, or just want a little more peppy motor. It costs way too much. There's better alternatives to do that. But you only do that if you're really setting up for something, a fast rig, or you're setting up for boost or something like that. Because with boost, you can't run the stock EFI. You can, but you won't make any power. I see a lot of people like buy supercharger kits and they're only making like 250, 260 wheel horsepower for like a $4,000 supercharger kit. I'm like, you guys are ridiculous. I'm like, that's what I'm saying. But I mean, the best thing to do is just switch out the EFI system to something good like this. And I mean, estimated what you're making around is around 370, around 380. It depends. I mean, if you can change the timing on this motor, if you get inside there and be able to change the timing, or get like a what's it called? I forgot that company. MSD, like an MSD ignition system. You'll be able to change the timing. You probably get a little bit more horsepower at this end. You probably easily be able to break into the 400s if you get everything tuned and dialed in perfectly. With and we still need to put the 2 headers on there. But I mean, that's it. I mean, it's not super hard, but I mean, it's gonna take some time. It's gonna take a little finicking work. I mean, I have a whole bunch of videos about from the startup of taking everything down, putting the springs in, doing the intake manifold, putting the injectors on there. Yeah, you can look at the other videos, but I mean, it's gonna run you back some money. It's gonna be, I mean, around 7. It depends. Like if you're running a naturally aspirated setup, it's gonna be a little bit cheaper. it should be around like 750, 800. But if you're running this, I mean, it's almost gonna break the 1,000. So, but another thing, sometimes I guess I don't know how other engines or other 5.7 Vortex are, but you may have to eliminate like the AC and get like a what's it called, the AC delete kit. You won't have AC. It depends on where you live and stuff like that. And it's just, I mean, you'll be able to modify the bracket. It's just, you just have to see, because we have the fuel rail like right there, and it won't fit back there. I mean, there's special ways to do it. As a lot of people do. We just throw it on quick. It's like, well, we need to put everything together, so just get the AC delete kit. So that's exactly what we did. Other than that, you got to mess with the harness. You got to create your own harness out the old one. Show all the things. I'll show you all the wires and stuff like that. But that's basically all you have to do. I mean, it's not super hard, and it's worth it. I mean, things sounds good. But yeah, I mean, we're like amateurs at this whole thing. I mean, we just got this truck like a couple months ago, and it's like, yeah, let's tear everything down and put some awesome parts on it. We never like took down engines and stuff like that before. And we just went into there, just started reading forums, asking questions and stuff like that, and just knowing people and getting people to help us out. And I mean, you can do stuff. It's the whole thing. So yeah, all you gotta do is just ask questions and people can give you some answers. I recommend like OBS of the South, like the GMT 400 forums on Facebook and stuff. There's specific ones. Some of them, they just like, I don't know, people just on there just acting stupid and just doing dumb stuff. But like, I recommend like the bigger ones, like OBS of the South, GMT 400. What else? FullSizeChevy.com have a lot of information on those websites. But that's all you gotta do. I mean, it's not crazy. But I mean, it's not gonna be easy. It's not gonna be the easiest thing on the board. It's not like changing the intake manifold out, or it's not like whatever it is. I don't know, something else to the equivalent. But I mean, it's worth it. It's definitely worth it. So that's all you really got to do. I'll do it. So that's what I'm about to say. That's what I think it is now. That's what I'm saying.